somebody stopped doing something that was working every time. Hey everybody, Neil Winter here with Matterhorn Business Development. I am here to do a retail apocalypse update, because I think I've done 2 or 3 already. But I wanted to talk about Sears again. If you haven't seen my previous videos, I've talked about Sears, I've talked about Best Buy, I've talked about some of these things, and I want to do a quick little update thing because I misspoke in one of the other videos that I did. I think it was the second video where I talked about Sears and Best Buy and things like that. And I said that when Sears was going bankrupt last year, we talked about this earlier, I said that they had 2 years before they'd be basically having troubles again, and I was wrong, and I just want to clear up any confusion. It actually only took 1 year, so I'm sorry. But 1 year later, all of this has become a big disaster. It's pretty sad when a gigantic name or a gigantic chain like Sears can go through a bankruptcy proceeding, get bought out by the old CEO, Mr. Lampert, his company, They had $4 billion in debt wiped off of the books. And I feel bad for all the workers and people because that $4 billion was mainly pension obligations and things like that, benefits and pensions. And so they did this restructure, and they've got basically closed down all the dead weight stores. Now they're focused entirely on the best stores, the profitable stores, and a year later they can't even keep those going, and more Sears and more Kmarts are ready to go under. So it's just kind of sad when, probably when you look back on it, they probably should have just let it go into bankruptcy and die out a year ago. It's just costing hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars, to keep this all going. And what's sad is that when I read this article in the Wall Street Journal about it, they even tried to bring about a new line of Sears. They made a smaller store. They called it Sears Home and Life. And instead of being 150,000 square feet, these were 10 to 15,000 square foot buildings. They were separate from the Sears. Those guys are losing money too. They can't make a profit anywhere. And they just haven't caught on to the whole retail system having changed. They think it's all about money and dollar and cents. And if you just economize enough, you'll make money. It's all crazy. And so I read this article and it's just pretty sad to me. I wanted to give a short update on it because I do think that the idea that you can just save a business by throwing a bunch of cash into it has been proven wrong so many times. And this is another example of that. You can't just throw money into a business that's losing money to make it then start making money. You can stop the bleeding for a little bit, but if you don't actually find the cause of the bleed, it's gonna just keep bleeding out. And that's what happened here. They wiped $4 trillion off of debt. They got rid of all sorts of dead weight in bankruptcy court and all this type of stuff. And then they still can't make money with what they have. You're fundamentally doing something wrong. And what's interesting is that in this Wall Street Journal article, there is one Sears that is apparently still crushing it. And I think it was in Massachusetts somewhere. I don't know why, but I would go into that Massachusetts store and find out what they're doing that's different that is causing it to work. And I'll tell you, there's probably a manager or some really good staff that are there that are making it go and making it work despite all the adversity. It's not location, it's not time of the year, it's not this, it's not any of these other problems that are listed here. It's that there's people there that are making it work. And you gotta find out what those people are doing to get the sales up, because all these other Sears locations do have the capability of making it work, but they just don't have the leadership and the team within that store to make it happen. So the Sears that's up there in Massachusetts is doing good. My hat's off to you because I think that you're probably doing something different. But you cannot solve the problem, any problem in business. If you have a problem, you can't just keep throwing money at it or useless solutions at it to make it go away. You have to find the cause of the problem, right? You have less phone calls coming into your business as a result of X, Y, and Z. Find out what changed or what happened to create the less amount of phone calls. The promotion that you've been doing for years all of a sudden doesn't work. I guarantee you something changed with the promotion. It didn't get sent out. The person that you paid to go put door hangers on the door isn't doing it. There is something going on that's actually creating that, and you have to find out what it is. And Sears' mistake is that they thought by just wiping all the debt off the books, they could just go la-di-da and throw a bunch of money at the problem to keep the stores open. But you have to figure out the retail side of things, because that's where the problem is. You aren't making money because of something within that store that's creating that. So when you look at your own business, I want you to look at what works what makes it workable, and keep doing that. And if you find something has changed or stopped working, you have to go and find out what actually changed. Somebody stopped doing something that was working every time, okay? If you see numbers going down, somebody in that area got promoted, didn't change or turn over what it is that they did to the new person. The new person came in and changed something. Something had to have changed. And so you've got to go in when you see declining numbers, you have to go and find out what actually changed. Okay, and when you find that, it will lead to a solution. Sears still hasn't figured that out, and unfortunately, that's probably going to be the end of Sears. Well, unfortunately for them, right? So anyway, I wanted to just give an update. I thought it would take 2 years before they were into trouble again, but apparently they're bleeding cash faster than even I imagined they would, and they're already into trouble. So that is my update. Remember, in your own business, look for problems. Look for what actually changed to create that problem and go back to doing what you were doing before that was working, because that is always going to help you pull out of any decline or problem that you might be having. So that's my retail apocalypse update. I hope to see you again here in the newsroom in the future. Give us a thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. We do 3 videos a week, and we talk all sorts of different subjects. So hope to see you again next time.